All right, my gabagools. Give a warm, bony welcome to Zulie. You're live on the last Respawn show. How are ya?
I'm alright.
Good. I'm bloody. Well, thank you for coming on and being brave. I mean, the last female or woman special guest we had on, I murdered. So, you know, I can't promise you're 100% safe here, but you aren't anywhere near me, so you're already a smart one.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true. Don't kill me.
No promises. But if you have a good tale, maybe I'll let you live. So you're calling in because you have actual paranormal stories to share.
I do. I have a lot.
Ah, well, let's start from the beginning. What was your first paranormal experience, dear Zulie?
Okay. My first one was when I was like 7.
Yeah,
I know. It's great.
Did you see dead people?
I don't know.
Oh.
Honestly, I don't know what I saw. I don't know. I didn't really see anything. I heard something in my house. I was living, I was living in the Heights at the time.
Ah.
Yeah, so it's already dangerous. And then I was home alone because I was a latchkey kid. And it was after school, and I was sitting in the living room. Our living room was set up so that I can see where I was sitting. I can see the foyer. So I can hear like my name, like vaguely being whispered from the foyer. And I'm like, I started freaking out because I'm just like, I'm watching TV, something I'm not supposed to be doing because I'm supposed to be doing my homework.
And you're all home alone.
Yes, I'm home alone for like 2 hours before my mom comes home.
And you hear something calling your name.
Yes. So I'm thinking it's my mom coming home early. So I start walking towards the foyer, and then I hear another voice. And I should backtrack a little bit. So when I was growing up, I had like an imaginary friend who lived in the cupboard in my kitchen.
I have several imaginary friends. I've murdered several.
Is that the girl you murdered last week? Was she an imaginary friend as well?
No, she was real, but now she's imaginary.
I see.
But what was your imaginary friend's name?
Okay, it's kind of ridiculous. Her name was 9, the number 9.
The number 9. 99.
Yeah.
Oh, well, did she come up with that or did you?
I don't know. That was just her name when I was talking to her. When I would go to the kitchen sometimes, and she lived in the cupboard in my kitchen, and I would just sit there talking to her. Apparently, I was talking to her since I was like 2. That's what my mom tells me.
Interesting. You're sure she wasn't a real girl actually hiding in your cupboard?
Honestly, after that moment, when I heard her voice coming from the kitchen telling me not to walk towards the door, is when I was like, maybe this isn't a fake person anymore. Like, maybe this isn't the person that I made up in my head. I think this might be somebody for real. Because it had been years since I heard her. I was already in school. I already had real friends, so I didn't really need an imaginary one anymore.
So perhaps she was jealous.
No, I think she was trying to save me from whatever might have been calling my name. Yeah.
Interesting.
Because as soon as I heard her voice, I just stopped walking. And then she was like, I think she said something like, sit back down. I sat my ass back down, and then I turned the volume up really loud on my TV, and I waited until my mom got home. That was my first experience. Yeah.
Nothing else happened with 99 again?
After that, nothing else happened again until I was a teenager.
Oh,
that was a real scary one. Yeah.
Let's go on to the sequel of your paranormal experiences, the teenage years.
I got a whole saga, honestly. So when I was a
Delightful.
teenager, and I moved to the Bronx, I think I was like 16 at this point. Um, I used to sleep on a loft bed. So
Mm.
there was one night, it was like really late. I think it was like almost 3 o'clock in the morning. I woke up, I woke up like out of nowhere. Like I don't usually just wake up out of, well, I didn't before when I was younger. I didn't usually wake up out of my sleep. Like something had like startled me.
What
I
was
woke up,
it?
I opened, I'll tell you right now, it wasn't pretty. I woke up
Well, Wall
and
Goblin
because,
says they rather fight aliens than ghosts. Well,
yeah,
from the
I mean,
sounds
you know
of
what?
Zulie's stories here, I might have to agree with you.
I agree with that. I agree with that too.
Hmm.
Um, so I woke up and I looked like, because I was on a loft bed, I can see, directly in front of me if somebody was standing directly in front of me. And there was
Hmm.
definitely a person, like fully, like it didn't even look like an apparition. It looked like a fully formed person staring at me. And I
Ooh.
was paralyzed. Like I had like sleep paralysis. So I
Was
couldn't
was
move.
it the Nightman visiting you?
I don't know. It was the nightman. I don't know. I mean, was it? Because okay, I'll describe him.
Oh
He was like
yes, I may know
bald.
him.
He, he
he
was
was
like bald.
he was bald, so you could see he
Yeah.
wasn't a shadow.
No, he was. I'm telling you, he was like a solid person just standing in front of me, staring at me sleeping. Right. And like because of the
Ah.
loft bed, he was like standing right in front of my face. So it was like we were like really close to each other. And he was kind of sweaty. He had like really round, he had round glasses. Um, he had a little bit of stubble on his face, and he was like a little like portly. Like he looked like, if I can describe a cartoon, he looked like Porky Pig, but like if it was a person, like a human.
Now, did this Porky Pig person do anything? They just stared at you sweatingly?
Yes, that's all they did. And I'm
Hmm.
like freaking out because I can't move, and I'm like trying to like will myself to get up, but I'm completely paralyzed except for like my eyes darting like across the room and stuff. And then as soon as I was able to move my fingers and my toes, like I shot up and I looked to the side and he was gone. So I don't
Ah.
know what that was. I still to this day can't really like explain why that happened to me. I've never had that happen to me again.
You never saw Porky
Um,
Pig again.
I never saw him again. No.
Fascinating. Wow, wow. Do you have more for us? Are you
I got a
gabagools hungry
few.
for some more?
I got a few more.
Well, let's
Um,
share the next one with us. Well, before we go to your next one, I have a question for you. Tonight
or-
is a vampire themed night at the last Respawn show. We're hanging out with some bloodsuckers. Are you a fan of vampires?
I dabble.
You dabble? Would you, given the choice, be an immortal creature of the night?
I don't know, man. Like,
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if it's because Twilight kind of ruined the whole vampire thing for me. It's just like, why would you want to go back to high school if you're dead? But
That
I
is a
grew
good
up
point.
with, right, I grew up with really cool vampires, so like I can't say I'm completely over the genre. I love The Lost Boys a lot. Like that's one of my favorite vampire movies ever.
Mm.
And I was really into Anne Rice when I was in high school. So, I mean, of course I was.
Mm.
So, like, I like those vampires. And then, I don't know what happened to the vampire genre as I got older. Just became glittery and weird.
That is fair. Wall Goblin has a good comment on ghosts. Ghosts are like spectators. That is a good point. They can't really do much. I guess sometimes they can.
I'm besides stare, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense.
So they're
It's not
just.
cool. It's violating though. Like, don't look at me. Why are you in my house?
Well,
You're not
maybe
even paying
it,
me rent, nothing.
Maybe they used to live there a long time ago.
Oh, he was pissed off I was in his room. All right, well, I don't know. I think that's rude.
I mean, I agree. What's your next ghost story, Zulie?
My next one is when I moved to California for 3 years. In my early 20s.
The ghost followed you across to the west side.
You know what? I said that. I was like, I think it might be the same dude because, like, why is this happening again? I mean, I didn't see him this time, but I felt him. So I lived with my ex-boyfriend at the time in Cali. I was going to college, and he used to get out of, like, he used to leave the house really early in the morning because he used to work at an insane asylum in San Bernardino, California.
Delightful.
He used to work at the hospital that the song Hotel California is actually about.
Oh.
Yeah, so he worked at that one. So he would leave the house really early in the morning, and I'd still be sleeping, getting ready, and then I would get ready for a class. One day he left as usual, and I was still like, my back was turned towards the door or whatever, so I couldn't see anybody coming in, but I can hear him, or what I thought was him. So I heard someone come back inside the house, walk to the room, and then sit down on the bed beside me.
Oh.
And I was like, I didn't turn around yet. I was like, why are you still here? I'm like, you're gonna be late for work. He didn't answer me, so I turned, and then there was nobody there. So of course I got up real quick and I called him on the phone. I'm like, were you here? Like, did you just come back? And he's like, no, I'm already at the office. And I'm just like, oh shit. And then I told him, I think it's that dude again. He followed me all the way to California.
Porky Pig.
Porky Pig, yeah. Can't leave me alone.
Oh, Zulie, perhaps these spirits they need your help.
I don't know. He feels sinister. I don't think he needs my help. I feel like he's just angry.
Oh, that's fair too. There are some very vengeful spirits. Have you ever tried to communicate with them with a Ouija board?
Absolutely not.
Don't want to open that door.
Hell no. I would never do that. I'm sorry. Yeah, Ouija boards, me and Ouija boards do not mix. Like, I'll do anything else. Tarot cards, whatever, but I can't. I'm good.
Yet these spirits keep trying to communicate with you.
I don't know what they want to say. I think they just are a nuisance. I have another one. Do you want to hear another one?
Well, I have another question for you, seeing as you've seen all these ghosts. What do you think actually are they? Are they ghosts? Are they spirits? Or are they time travelers? Are they spectators? What aliens? What do you think of these things?
I believe in ghosts. I believe in all that spooky stuff. Just because I've, all the experiences that I have, all the experiences that my family has had, like my mother and my grandma, like, come from like a family of like witches, kind of, I guess, and being Dominican and living in DR and like having no light and seeing all these apparitions like in real time all the time out there. So like I believe in all that stuff. I don't know necessarily whether or not they are sinister or they're just stuck or anything like that when it comes to that. But I believe in ghosts.
Well, perhaps these spirits sense this ancestry trait you have, and maybe they want you to do something with that. I don't know. Wallgoblin says he used an Ouija board on Discord with my camera on and nothing happened. Well, maybe they didn't want to be on camera with you, Wallgoblin, or did you shower that day?
How did that go with the Ouija board besides that? Did he get any kind of answer?
Did you get any answer, Wallgoblin? How many times I have to shoot myself with blood? Twice? Good for the skip. Whoa! Well, God wants me to tell you a scary story.
Oh yeah.
I have my
Okay.
own paranormal experiences when I was younger.
Okay.
Perhaps I was always a young ghoul or human, but my memory fades me. I don't know if this was from another life. What I do remember, I was in the Bronx as well, a young teen, with my mother, just my mom, me, my sister, in a one-bedroom apartment. And I do recall the previous occupants had left all their stuff, like they had vanished in the night. Yeah. And we got rid of it and we made it our home. Me and my sister shared the room with a bunk bed, and me too. I remember being home alone after school, watching TV. We weren't allowed to eat in our mother's room where the TV was because we kept leaving crumbs everywhere.
Right.
So us being little sneaky kids, we would angle the TV to the hallway and sit out in the hallway and eat. I mean, looking back now, maybe we should have just ate better or cleaned up after ourselves, but you know,
Right.
we're just dumb kids. That first day, sitting there alone with the TV on, I had that peripheral vision of something running by me. You know, you see something from the corner of your eye, you turn, and there was nothing there. I could recall something ran by me, and I thought it was odd. And you know, being a kid, I was dumb. I just went on watching whatever was on, Power Rangers, Batman, whatever. And so one night, I, again, like you, woke up randomly at night, and I was on the top bunk bed, and I just woke up.
What is it with the top bunk area? What's going on with that?
I don't know, but I did wake up and I saw a shadowy figure just standing there, and I knew it wasn't my sister. She wasn't tall enough to be high enough to stand there. It was just standing there, and I froze in fear, and so I could move and blink, it disappeared.
Okay, see?
But it gets better. It gets better, Zulie. I remember we had our cousins over one night, and I was sleeping on the floor. I guess I let the cousins sleep on my bunk bed, being a nice cousin when I was. And again, I woke up in the middle of the night and felt something sitting over me, and it wasn't human. It felt like a dog or a creature, and I could recall this shadow having teeth, and it was staring over me, and I just sat over and looked at me, and scared and fear. I couldn't say anything until I could eventually move and blink. It disappeared. But Zulie, it gets even better. Here's the final. This is all in the same place. All in the same place. Oh yes. I remember sitting alone in my room one night. We finally had a TV, and I had the TV off, and I was on the phone talking to a friend of mine, and then, as one used to do back in the day, I guess. And I remember I can't recall what we were talking about, but in the reflection of the TV that was turned off, a figure appeared instantly behind me and went to hit me in the head with something. I can't recall what it was, but it was instant and quick. And I looked behind me and there was nothing there. And I looked back at the reflection, there was nothing there. And I was freaking out. I was freaking out.
How old were you?
Young teen, high school age, whatever that age is.
Oh, man. Yeah.
And I told my friend what happened, and she said, "You need to get out the house. You need to get out the house now." And I said, "No, it's nighttime. It's scary outside." And so I went to my mom's room, sat on her bed, and blasted Cartoon Network, because, you know, if you blast Cartoon Network, it blasts the demons away.
Exactly what I did, yeah.
So to end this story, I finally told my mom what was going on, because I was so scared of telling her, of being locked up or probed at. And she was like, well, your sister is seeing things too.
Oh, shit.
And she said, well, I think I have a theory. DeadBite is scared of his mother, Little Piggy. Who isn't Little Piggy? If you're not scared of your mother, then she's not mothering right. Well, she said to me she had a theory to why this was happening. Now buckle up, gabagools. My mom, I don't know if she's still into it, but at the time she was into Santeria, and she had a little Santeria psychic witch, whatever they go by, and said they had a falling out. And that this woman may have put a little hex or curse on us because she had given
her children.
She had given my sister a necklace. So my mom got rid of the necklace, and one morning before school, she gave me this plastic Tupperware jar of soapy liquid and said, "Young DeadBite, wash yourself with this when you take a shower this morning." And I said, okay. And I did, and I can recall that liquid smelled like a homeless man found a bottle of cologne and just took a shower in that cologne. It was a smell. To this day, I feel like I still smell it. But after that shower, I never saw those shadows again.
Yeah?
Never again, yes. That's my scary story, whoever wanted to hear that.
All right. I mean, we have a lot of similarities when it comes to, like, you know, our maternal figures being into, like, Santeria and stuff like that, so I understand that.
Interesting. Well, you say you have one more story for us, right?
I do.
All right, let's hear it.
I have a few, but I'm going to just give you one more.
Give us your last best terrifying one. I want Will Goblin a little piggy to have trouble sleeping tonight.
Okay, I'll try. I'm trying to be as spooky as possible. I say these stories like they're nothing, but I'm trying. Okay. All right. So the last one I have is I think I was like 25. This is before I became a mommy. I was staying with another ex-boyfriend. I was staying over at his house. Mm-hmm. He shared an apartment with his sister. So in the middle of the night, I went to use the bathroom. I'm sorry, this story is gonna be a two-parter. Okay. I went to use the bathroom, and it's like I want to say it's like witching hours, so it's probably like 3:30 in the morning. I come out, and the bathroom faces directly in front of the living room. I come out and I see someone standing in the middle of the living room, like a woman, like a figure of a woman. I didn't see her clearly, but I can see like the outline of a woman wearing a gown, like a nightgown, and just standing there. So my instinct was to be like, I thought it was his sister. So I was like, "Oh, Stephanie, do you want to use the bathroom?"
Delightful.
And then, he didn't move. So I was just like, "Stephanie?" And she still didn't move. And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I ran into my ex-boyfriend's room, and I closed the door and locked it. And then I woke him up and I told him, "Yo, there's somebody standing in the middle of your living room, and it's not your sister." And he was like, "Oh boy." And then I couldn't sleep for the rest of the night.
Absolutely delightful. What's the second part to this?
Part two of that is a few weeks later, I was again hanging out in his room. I think he went to the store. I was by myself in the apartment, but I had the door to his room closed. I had the AC on. It was summertime, and I'm sitting there. I think I was watching something. I don't remember what I exactly was doing, but I'm sitting there, and there was the loudest bang I've ever heard against the door. It was so loud, it shook the entire room. Ooh. And I freaked out, and I'm like, why is this man trying to open the door like that? So I opened the door to see what was going on, and no one was in the apartment. So of course I was like, okay, I'm gonna go home now. And I told him that I was leaving because I was like, I don't want to deal with this today. I was having a good day until that point. I wanted to go home, so I left.
Amazing. Well, Wall Goblin would have fainted and knocked themselves out with the girl there.
And I was told that might have been a succubus and not a ghost.
Oh, and why were you told that?
Because it seemed to be very angry with me specifically, and only would show itself with me when I was the only one awake in the house. So I'm guessing it was like something that attached to my ex-boyfriend himself. This is what I was told. I'm not sure how much I believe in like those kinds of demons or whatever, but that's what I was told. That it might have been something that had attached itself to him, and it was jealous that I was getting his attention. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's absolutely delightful stories. Do any of you have any questions for Zulie before we let her go and get haunted by more ghosts? Truly terrifying stuff. Well, I may have trouble sleeping tonight.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't sleep much anyway. Wall Goblin says you are braver than them.
Oh, thank you.
Because apparently, if they would have seen a ghost, they would have fainted and knocked themselves out. Wow, we would have cartoon fainted there, Wall Goblin. Oh, Del got here too late for spooky time. Well, make sure you watch the old VOD there. SPNYC says, has she seen any ghosts recently? Have you seen any ghosts recently?
I have, actually. In the apartment that I live in now, I've seen one at the foot of my bed. I saw one very recently. I screamed at the top of my lungs and woke up my daughter, fortunately. But yeah, I have seen one recently.
Oh, they sure love you, Zulie.
They do. Give me some money or something. Like, why you always want to be around me? Give me something.
They either want your help or you're just fun to haunt.
When I get scared, I guess.
Yeah, or maybe you're fun to scare too. You never thought of calling any exorcists or ghostbusters to help you with your problem?
I probably should. I'm probably like have a crappy ghost attached to me that if I got rid of them, my life would be a lot better. I just, I don't know. I've never done it, but I should.
You should. You did mention that you are a mother. Has your daughter seen any ghosts?
She tells me that she has. I think all the women in my family just have that like trait, I guess. Like it's not necessarily like I don't know if we all see paranormal stuff, but we all kind of have like a sixth sense. So I don't know. She tells me that she has, but I'm not sure how valid that is.
Well, Surface Corporal says, don't get rid of them, chain them to your will. It's a great time. How does that work?
Right.
They're already dead, Dal. I don't know the legality. Well, Zulie, I don't want to take any more of your time because maybe more ghosts want to haunt you. I know you didn't want to have anything to plug tonight, but if you wanted to say anything or anything, the air is open for you if you want to just say anything.
What do I want to say? I don't know, man.
What would you say to the ghosts if they were listening to you?
Leave me alone or pay me some rent. Like, please. You're gonna be in my house, you're gonna pay some freaking bills. Let's go.
Oh, delightful. Well, Zulie, thank you for calling into the show and sharing your paranormal stories. They were delightful.
Thank you for having me. It was very fun.
Oh, anytime. Well, you try to have a good night there, okay?
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.